Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to the Little Reader's house. I am the Little Reader, also known as Amanda, and you, my friend, you. You're in my house, beautiful soul. You and this sweet piece of Palo Santo. Us three here together. It's an honor to have you. Thank you for being here. We are clearing the air. Let's clear the air, before we begin on today's sacred transmission. But how are you, sweet soul? What things are popping up in your world, in your stratosphere? Do you mind if I just... Tell me everything, if you like. Comments below. It has been requiring extra effort of late to get in there and respond to comments, but know that it is an inevitability and that I make the time to read each and every single one. It's just that the reading doesn't always coincide with the responding at the same time. So if you find it's taking me a bit, know that it's probably been read with love and gratitude, and a response is coming. I would love to know how you're faring. As we clear the air, we are preparing, which rhymes with faring, I'm noticing. What are we preparing for? In a universe where time does not exist. See, we say that a lot here in the house, but I, and so does Spirit, fully understand that feels far out when we experience time every single day. I don't know about you, beautiful soul, but I live my life based on a clock. There's still a little bit of smoke here, so I'm just going to hold this over there. But I live my life based on a clock. The alarm goes bing, bing, bing. Little reader eyes open up. The alarm goes bing, bing, bing all day, meaning do this, do that, this activity, that activity. It's time for this, it's time for that. It's all about time. So fully understand if any confusion ever arises when a channeler or another individual says something to the effect of, time does not exist. It's like, let me just take this clock and clock you with it. How about that? Respectfully, of course, metaphorically. I understand the reaction, the response, which is time certainly exists, and I've got it, and I want to know what to do with it. So I guess that's where we're going today, Spirit. We are bringing this to Spirit, to the white light within, and asking the question, in a world governed by time, even if it is an illusion, that's great. Like, more power to it. How do I practically embrace the timeless nature of this human experience in a world where time is of the essence? So Spirit, take it away, because your girl would like to know too. And if you're new to the house, beautiful soul, in times like these where I put on my channeling suit, I invite you to flutter your eyes closed and breathe with me. You can help channel it in, You can open your eyes whenever you're ready. It's coming through. That's so funny. I mean, not like ha-ha funny, but you know what I mean. Spirit has brought my awareness to the heart, which interestingly, now I've never intellectually made this connection, but maybe you have. It beats like a clock ticks. It's crazy, right? It beats like a clock ticks. A clock is ticking and a heart is beating, and both remind us of something. Mortality. I remember when I was a child, if you can imagine that. Little reader. Smaller. I read in a textbook that the heart had a limited amount of beats. And that really freaked me out. I did not like the idea that the heart would stop beating. I guess for obvious reasons. Oh yes, young Amanda contemplating life at 5. But really, I did a lot of that. And I did not love that fact. But there it is, the clock within. And Spirit's bringing attention to this heart. Because it's cohesive. If we allow our hearts to take the lead at this era of humanity, our minds have done so much good work for us, and we're not throwing them away. We love you, beautiful mind. But we are training our awareness into this area versus always sitting in this area. Here in the house, if you're a regular, you understand this is a practice. We've got a whole Patreon about it, more to come in that area, but it already has a 30-day program for shifting our awareness into the chest. It's $1.11. Gotta promo it, you know? We live in a material world. When we shift our awareness into the realm of heart, our experience changes. And there's an alignment with a more emotional experience. Gee, another groundbreaking thought. Wink, wink, wink. I understand that is that's rather straightforward. If we're living in the heart, we're having a more emotional experience than if we're living exclusively in the mind. Understood. But what Spirit is saying here is that the power of the emotional experience is the same reason that we seek out resonant entertainment. Resonant entertainment, beautiful soul. The films that tickle you. The music that uplifts you. The physicality, the sports that enliven you. The kisses that stop time, quite literally. You're noticing a theme here. Resonant entertainment is something that is different than intellectual entertainment, evidently. Intellectual entertainment we might seek out to pass time. We put a podcast on in the background. We put a movie on while we're doing another type of work, but it's not to be swept away. It's to fill space. It's to accelerate the moment by removing ourselves from it. So that's how we pass time with the mind, is we try to remove ourselves from the moment. But with the heart, we are actually asking to be immersed more deeply into the moment. As we've discussed here many times before, Spirit is no judge, so Spirit's not like sitting there stroking her wizard beard up on some throne going, and obviously you would pick the heart, right? Because you immerse in the moment, like, obviously. No. Spirit understands the value of both experiences. So if you find yourself using distractions as a way to escape the moment and just keep time churning until we can pause and freeze frame on a moment we actually enjoy, Spirit gets it. No need to change. Again, another frequent little reader nugget. We don't change patterns by attempting to shift them. We change patterns by watching them. That's it. So just notice it if that's a pattern. On the other hand, if we are addicted into diving into visceral, emotional, I almost said pathos, but I think that means emotional. If we're addicted into getting into deeper, the nitty gritty, stimulating emotion, going further and further in, this can also eventually lead us to escaping from the present moment. There is a balance here. But currently the whole of the collective is balanced to the side of the intellectual. Literally, I see brains falling out of heads. Overstimulation. We can do this and balance it out. Sometimes, though, as you can see, in order to balance it back out when we've been skewed one way, we have to overcorrect a little bit. Spirit has never used preaching that there is no time for any particular purpose. We as humans, on the other hand, that's different. But Spirit was never trying to hammer timelessness into anybody's intellectual understanding. Spirit's style is more show, don't tell. We're always looking for the intellectual knowledge. Make it make sense. That's the cry of the human mind. What do you mean there's no time? I'm experiencing time right now. Make it make sense. And there is a way to make it make sense. There absolutely is. And we may explore it again here in the little reader's house. But this is not the time, according to Spirit, which is a shame because I do love to talk, as you can probably tell. Spirit would rather you experience firsthand the cessation of time. Spirit points to the heart as the premier tool to do so right now at this juncture of reality where we find ourselves with this technology, with this level of consciousness, with these world social crises and advantages, however you want to judge it all. Now, the heart is the vessel. And if you want to experience life as timeless, for real, not as a mental concept, but as an experience, then it requires shifting the awareness into the realm of heart. Yes. And if you're new here and you're like, what? That's what every transmission is about here. And if you're old here and you're like, well, you knew this was coming, beautiful soul. You knew this was coming. We breathe. We become aware of the witness. We become aware of the moment. We merge with now. And then we turn all percentage points of awareness, of which we only have 100%. You can only ever have 100% of you. And we turn it, not to the clavicle, but to the center of the chest. And we use every available sense to feel what the hell is going on right here. And wouldn't you know it, a shift do be occurring. And with practice, that shift leads to an experience. The beautiful poetry is that you can set a timer, speaking of time. But in the midst of that window, you can experience the timeless state. The overcorrection we spoke of earlier may initially happen. So many emotions start to bubble up. Things that have just been pocketed, hidden, shoved away. Can't deal with that now. Don't have the bandwidth. That's okay. No judgment. Spirit is a non-judging spirit. We get in there, we feel, we smell, we taste, we hear, we perceive. We use senses we didn't even know that we had. That is the way to experience timelessness. Now that's a practice, beautiful soul. It's a practice. I rant and rave about it around here a lot. Because that's my mission right now. That's why the little reader exists right now. But I also personally have that practice. And what both spirit and this little creature can assure you is this. It starts out with setting aside time to immerse the self in that area. Then some things start to shift. Then changes begin to exponentially occur in every area of your life. And then this quality of timelessness begins to become a legitimate experience in moments of your life. And the thing is, the more you experience it, the more often it happens. More is more is more is more is more. A moment that began as a practice expands into the entire quality of your waking and even sleeping life. So, to say there is no time isn't just a cool spiritual ism that gets thrown around to sound highfalutin. There is no time. Don't you know it? No. It can be experienced, the timeless state. And it doesn't have to be a quote-unquote one-time thing. It doesn't have to be the result of a psychedelic substance, although, hey. It doesn't have to be the result of chance or luck, NDE. It is fully within your means of experience if you're here. In fact, this transmission is probably simply a foreshadowing or a synchronicity for what you've already been experiencing. A heart-centered life experience is coming to a being near you. Very near to you. And probably the one that you're in right now. Definitely the one that you're in right now. The timeless state will be yours, beautiful soul. It's simply a matter of deciding that it's a priority. And you'll decide that when you're ready and not one moment before. So for now, take the little reader's word for it. Take Spirit's word for it and world for it. If you want to know time and the secrets of it, and how big or small or totally non-existent it is, start diving in to perceiving reality from the inside. There, all your answers lie, and it will change your entire experience. Yeah, I promise. That's where we're leaving it today, beautiful soul. Thank you so much for visiting me in the house. It's always an honor to host you, to have you. Until we meet again, I'm sending you all the love I've got. Always more and never less. Because you are so very worthy of it. Don't you know?